What's good, everyone? Hope everyone's having a blessed Sunday. Have another installment of the Southern Baller Show, episode 67, 76, sorry, 76. And of course, this is Jared Old Evan Green. My brother, Coach 67 Sports TV, is going to hop on. And of course, we have JB on the panel with us. What's going on, brother?
Hey man, same old man. Enjoying my Sunday, man, and ready to start the show.
All right. Let me turn this music down. Of course, we have Big Joe Town in the chat. He said, salute to the family. Got a migraine, but tapping in. Another one of my co-hosts. But I appreciate you, man.
Get better, bro.
Yeah, please get better, man. And J Bar in the chat, he said, salute family in chat. Appreciate you. Always supporting. And first of all, just wanted to say rest in peace to Hall of Fame boxer George Foreman. He passed on a couple of days ago. Man, JB, how big was this in the boxing world of the death of George Foreman?
Devastating, sad. Look, man, he just was one of those dudes, man. In the Ali era, man, and he helped shape boxing. He helped gave us memorable fights, man. And he will be missed.
And not just the Ali era. He was a gold
And then
medalist.
he had that comeback, right?
Yeah, in the
Yep.
80s and 90s. Yep. Yes, sir. So he was dominant in many eras, man. So legendary. So the boxing world is definitely gonna miss George Foreman. This hurt. And shout out to Drew Titan, LDBC brother. He had a video explaining like a lot of so-called boxing fans is not they're not gonna realize how big it's gonna hurt the boxing world of the death of George Foreman. It's like Ali when Ali passed on, man. That hurt. That hurt. We got our brother, Mr. Southern himself, Coach 67 Sports TV. What's going on, man?
I'm blessed and highly favored. Salute to the family. How y'all brothers doing this afternoon?
Can't complain, man. Can't complain at all.
Man, just blessed, man.
Hey man, that's a blessing right there.
Yes, sir. We were just talking about the death of George Foreman. And I was asking JB, you know, a lot of boxing fans don't. It's not they're not gonna realize how how much we lost a legend, man.
Yeah, I mean he definitely was a living legend. Of course, I wasn't born when he had the first phase of his career, when he brutally and just savagely smoking Joe Frazier. I mean, nobody beat Joe Frazier the way he did. He beat him to the world title. Then, of course, he had the Rumble in the Jungle with Ali. He had a classic fight with Ron Lyles, and then in the second phase, he came back. He beat Michael Morrow. But my favorite fight of his was when he fought against Evander Holyfield. Many people like myself thought Evander Holyfield was just going to knock him out because he was old, he was faded, he was done.
Mm-hmm.
And Holyfield had Holyfield was a great punch combination guy. He was able to put together great combination punches. And I mean, he put together some savage combinations on George Foreman, but he couldn't put Foreman down. So they're going to show you Foreman had a great chin, and Foreman had a lot of heart. That performance in that fight, it really showed me a lot. When Holyfield couldn't put him down nor put him out. That was a legendary fight, in my opinion.
Yes, sir. And shout out to Autism Boy. Appreciate you for always supporting. And Big Reg, host of Big Boy Talk. He said, "What's good, everybody? Y'all check out this Met Brothers show." Appreciate you, Big Reg. But going back to what you're saying, Coach, yeah, man, my favorite fight of George Foreman was actually when he fought Ron Lyle. That was a battle, man.
Oh no,
Um,
that definitely was a battle. But like I said, that was before my time. The Holyfield fight, I actually watched it like
watched it, yeah.
on HBO when it actually happened live.
And I ain't gonna lie, and you're right, man. George Foreman was a little bit before our time. Even when he was fighting, we were like, I was born in the '90s, so he was pretty much wrapping everything up. But just going, thank God to YouTube, right? I was able to see, the when he fought Ali, lost the belt to Ali, and when he knocked out Michael Moore walked into that one famous 1-2, and he won the belt at what was he, 45? When he won the championship against Michael Moore, or was he a little older than that?
I think he might have been 44, maybe.
Yeah, somewhere around that.
Yeah, something like that.
But my just thank God to YouTube, that Ryan Lyle fight when he after he lost to Muhammad Ali and he started taking fights to get back into it, and Ron Lyle was one of them. And Ron Lyle put my Big George Foreman down multiple times, and George Foreman was able to come back, man, and finish Ron Lyle out, man. That's when people talk about a knockout, drag out, slugfest. That was one of them. Two dudes not scared of each other, just trying to knock the hell out of each other. That was a battle, man.
Yeah, it was.
Big Joe said, Coach Harrison, you want to find the boxer game with the USA. What you mean, Big Joe? Because I want to make sure I get your message right. What you trying to say, right? But yeah, but JB, what was your favorite fight with Big George Foreman?
I'd agree with you, man. The Ron Lyle fight, man, that was one of my favorite fights where it showed how tough he was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
A lot
getting
of
off, man.
big
Yeah.
power punchers can dish it out and can't take it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It seemed like his chin grew in Coach and JB. Let me make sure. I want to say this to make sure I'm not tripping. It seemed like his chin grew stronger when he got older. Because you notice when he was younger, in his 20s and 30s, he was getting knocked down. But when he got in his 40s, when he was reinventing himself in the 80s and 90s, don't get me wrong, there was fights when he got lumped up. Nobody was able to knock him down or knock him out. Am I tripping, or am I going overboard and saying that?
No, in that second phase when he came back, I don't remember nobody. I mean, Holyfield was heavyweight champion. Holyfield couldn't put him down. And he fought against Michael Moore. I mean, he was bigger than most of the guys he fought against. So he was fighting against smaller heavyweights compared to what he was. So now those guys, even though they was able to put together like a lot of good combinations against him, they really couldn't put him down. So he definitely had a chin. No two ways about it,
Agreed. That's a good observation there. As you know, once he got older, when he had that second comeback, his chin it did seem stronger because like Coach just said, Holyfield gave him his best shots, and Big George kept coming.
But like I said, another thing you got to realize too, you know, uh, like Holyfield, Mora, those guys had been light heavies and cruisers, and George was a legit heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? So George was a bigger guy compared to those guys too. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, even when he fought against, guys like, Rousseff Reese and Shannon Briggs and them guys, those guys put him down either.
True.
At least not that I can remember anyway.
Yeah, I was. So wait a minute. I don't remember Shannon, and I may have listened to it wrong, what you're saying wrong. You say Shannon Briggs knocked down
No,
Big
I
Joe?
said Shannon Briggs didn't knock him down either.
Oh, okay, yeah. We're on the same page. Yeah, exactly. So that's weird, man. Yeah, when he was older, nobody really able to take him down, man. So I'm about to say I ain't remember Shannon Briggs, but that's I misunderstood what you're saying. My apologies, but yeah, um,
And I mean, you got to realize, and when Shannon Briggs fought against Lennox Lewis, man, hey, Shannon Briggs had Lennox Lewis. Hey, he had Lennox Lewis in La La Land for a little bit. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
he did.
For a minute, I thought Shannon Briggs was gonna pull the upset and beat Lewis, but once Lewis, gathered itself, yeah, it was a wrap for him after that.
Yeah, and even Shannon Briggs in the interview came out and said that the hardest hit he ever took was by George Foreman. He got hit by that 1-2. And he said that there was a point in the match, and I forget what round he was saying. It was on the 85 South show when he did an interview with Chico Bean and Carlos Miller and them. And he said that I forgot what round he said. Basically, Big George knocked him out on his feet, and then Big George hit him with another punch and woke him back up. He didn't go down. He didn't go down, but he was about to. But that other punch woke him up. So that's how strong Big George was,
Yeah.
even at an older age. And you know what they say: the last thing that go when you get older is your strength.
Your power, yup.
Hmm. But also, man, just switching gears, we're staying on, talking about somebody else who had done moved on, are no longer here with us. We just got news that the younger brother of Steve McNair and Fred McNair, Michael McNair, they call Doc, um, passed on. Was it yesterday or sometime this weekend? But yeah, he passed on.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Condolences to the family.
Yeah, and that McNair family
Rest in peace.
has already been. My heart goes out to Mother McNair, the mother, all them boys. Um, of course, she hasn't gotten over the death of her son. No one would, and then this happened. So, please, yeah, prayers up, man. Definitely. Um, ask some Lord to to comfort that
Yeah.
family.
And you said it was in a car accident, right?
Yeah,
Oh man. Rest in peace to the
yeah,
McNair and rest in peace to the brother and prayers out to the McNair family.
yeah. Yeah, salute to Brent Fox, man. He said salute brothers moving around again, but definitely still supporting. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. But yeah, man, y'all, yeah, we lost some good men. We listened to Angie Stone and just countless others, man. So while y'all on this earth, man, do what y'all to do. Try to do what you believe that God put you here for, man. 'Cause we don't know how long we got. And I know that's a generic thing to say, but we really don't. You can just walk out on the yard and out in your front yard and something happened to you. So y'all, please cherish the time that you have. But moving on, yeah. Before I move on, any lasting words I want to say, Coach JB?
Nah, that's it for me, bro.
No, sir.
All right, all right. Yeah, rest in peace to those brothers. Um, College basketball, and it's we in the elite. The elite eight is wrapping up both in the men's and the women's brackets. Uh, Florida, the Florida Gators in the men's college basketball. They had to beat off Texas Tech with a stick, but they end up moving on to the Final Four, beating Texas Tech 84-79. And then I ain't gonna lie, Coach, I'm disappointed in Alabama. I'm disappointed in Alabama. I picked them to put up a good fight. Notice I ain't say beat, but put up a good scrap against Duke. Man, them dudes wet the bed against Duke, man. Cooper Flag and them gave them boy the business. Pause. They beat Alabama 85-65. And Duke is now waiting on Tennessee and Houston. And Houston is beating Tennessee 50-37. And Florida is waiting on Auburn and Michigan State, which they play later on today, around 4 o'clock. Coach, you are basketball man of the show. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's NCAA basketball. It's March Madness. You know, a lot of it is unpredictable. You know, it's hard for you to tell who do what. You know, when it comes to Cooper Flag, I know some people might be disappointed in him. Long as our Pelicans get the first pick and get him, not the Wizards, not the Jazz, none of them other teams. Hey, he good with me, as long as he coming to New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, you know, you got teams like LSU. I know they had a scare. I mean, you know, they almost got knocked out, but they was able to survive. But at the end of it all, I mean, hey, it's March Madness. You know, in some years you get a lot of chalk. In other years you get a lot of unpredictability. But more than anything, you know, I'm looking forward to a good Final Four on both the women and the men's side. But of course, you know, more than anything, I'm proud of my Southern University Lady Jags that won the SWAC regular season title, won the SWAC tournament,
Yes,
and they
sir.
lost to the number one team in the country, UCLA.
Yes.
They put up a good fight, but of course, you know, the size they had to give up. And I don't lie, they well coached. They're a great defensive team. They couldn't get it done, but I mean, hey, they definitely put up a real good fight. I think they kind of gave a lot of other teams the blueprint when they face UCLA. UCLA, you know, they got a lot of size, multiple 6-footers. You know, the big girl, 6'7" girl, Lauren Betts, she a problem. But, you know, we'll see how things play out. But overall, this is not the most exciting tournament season I've seen in terms of March Madness. But I'm not gonna lie, it's not the worst either. So it's kind of in the middle, you know.
Yeah, man, and we gonna get to the girls bracket. Oh, here we go. Uh, and shout out to the Road Podcast, man. Y'all please support this brother. Sharing awesome content. My brother Hendo, he said, "Let's go Duke." We got a Duke fan in the midst of us, JB. But
Never.
they kicking ass though. They kicking ass.
Go Houston or Auburn. I know anybody but Duke to win. Anybody.
But our Tar Heels choked this this year, man. But what you think? Um, what you think about the men's bracket?
I think, like you said, man, that the Alabama was disappointed because I wanted them to beat and upset Duke. No surprise why, because I'm a UNC fan. Um, uh, Otherwise, from that, Houston is looking dominant. Alabama, you know, is looking like a good team. I think Michigan State won as well. Um,
You said
so
Alabama,
it
they
just
lost.
no Michigan State won. No,
You confirmed.
Auburn. I said Auburn. Auburn won.
Yeah,
Michigan State won.
yeah.
Houston won. And I know
Mm-hmm.
Alabama beat. No, I mean, Alabama lost to Duke, and I
Mm-hmm.
wanted Alabama to win. So I know
Right.
Duke is advancing to the Final Four. Correct?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Florida advanced. So Florida is waiting on Michigan and Auburn, which they played later on today. And Duke is waiting on Houston. And Houston beating the brakes off of Tennessee.
Man. Well, I mean, Houston is my favorite. Auburn is my sleeper, and Duke. I just hope everything about them fails. So that's my answer.
How they balling, man. And I'll be transparent with you, man. You gotta be this with this Duke team. Um,
They got shooters everywhere on the
yeah,
bench.
they got shooters
Oh
everywhere. You
man,
gotta be perfect, man. Yeah, I'm just being, and I agree with you being you know, that Carolina blue run through my veins too, JB. But just being transparent, we talking about sport. We in the sports show, right? Just being honest.
right?
You can't slip up. You got to be perfect to play Duke. You can't turn the ball over. You can't take bad shots. Because Cooper Flag and the company balling, man. They balling.
Hey,
Endo said,
hey, that's all right.
uh,
Hey. Long as in, I'm gonna say November, he balling in New Orleans. You know, that's all we want. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Go playoffs.
People pick on the kid, but you can try to tear apart his game, but the white boy got big lanky white boy got skills, bro. Especially in the paint.
He
Um,
alright.
No, I ain't gonna lie, bump that, GB. I'm gonna keep it a brick. When they were playing against the U.S. team, and they had Drew Holiday on his boy, trying to lock
mhm,
him up, and this
mhm,
boy was cooking Drew Holiday. I said, "Oh
mhm.
my goodness, this boy, he the real deal." This boy was cooking Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
In fact, he almost let him to a win. They beat the U.S. team. U.S. team beat them in that practice by 1 point because I think either LeBron or Anthony Davis hit a shot the last possession. So for people like Abel talking about this past U.S. Olympic team would have beat the Dream Team, man, y'all must be smoking dope or dog for one of the two.
Yeah, yeah, Abel. It's funny you said that, man. And I be trying to tell these young boys, man, like, yeah, y'all faster, y'all more athletic, but somebody like Larry Bird, who's not athletic but skilled, all he had to do is just stay in one spot, and he'll tear your ass up.
Now hold up, people saying they more athletic. Last time I checked, Larry Bird is more athletic than Luca. And then on top of that, let's be honest with you. The Joker is not lighting the world on fire from an athletic standpoint. So they can miss me with hey, the players today more athletic. I think that's cap. Because, they're making it seem like
I,
players of yesteryear wasn't good athletes.
let me push
Man,
back a little bit, but we agree on the same sentiment though. But as far as, let me push back on the more athletic thing part. These boys, in my opinion, are more athletic. But man, when they get into somebody playing like the old school defense of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, a lot of them boys gonna be bitching. and gonna throw up all them game. A lot of them old school dudes were stronger mentally. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And
I
they
agree
was
with you.
assassins,
I agree with you.
assassins.
I agree with you with that on in that aspect of it. But with Anthony Edwards, of course, you know these young cats, they don't watch the old school. Talking about, hey, I didn't watch the older cats, but Jordan was the only skilled player. What he really wanted to see was Jordan was the really only real athletic player. And I'm like, dude, you must not have watched David Thompson. You must not have watched the Iceman George Gervin. You must not have watched Dr. J. It's like, come on, man. Like
Drexler,
Jordan was
Clyde Drexler, yeah.
Jordan wasn't the only athletic wing player back in those days. But it's kind of like Tank Davis nowadays. You know, they ask him about Marvelous Marvin Hagler. I heard about him. I never saw him. And I'm like, dude, you are a world champion in multiple weight classes, and you never watched Marvelous Marvin Hagler fight? Dude, I'll be a fan in you.
But you know what's so funny though? You ever and it's funny. It goes back into the business of comedy as well, right? Where joke thieves, like if somebody tell a joke, right, and then all of a sudden a lot of people are saying your same joke, and people don't know where it came from. That goes for like the mindset of these young boys. Like a lot of these young boys don't know where the crossover came from. You know what I mean? They don't
Yeah.
know. Lot of the moves that they're doing, they don't know where the origin's from, and they're not. They picking up on the game, but they're not seeing where they're not doing their history or their research to see where it's coming from. But a lot of, they know how to play basketball, but they don't know the history like they think they do. Uh, I agree with Roll Pie. He said this younger generation is bigger, faster, stronger, but for some reason produce way more butts. Exactly.
Well, I ain't gonna
Exactly.
lie. The bigger, stronger, more athletic point. I'm still pushing back on that because, like I said, I mean, Luca and the Joker, they're not super athletic at all, and they some of the top players in the day and age. And in terms of, like for example, when I know y'all couldn't make it to the family reunion, right?
Right.
But myself, of course, Junior kept telling us, like, hey, we was on one side. He told us, hey, y'all can't go on this side over here. But the problem was that other side was where the TV was. So they had this older gentleman, he turned the TV on for us, but we couldn't hear it. And he had up as loud as it could go. So we got as close as we could. It was a bunch of us. It was myself, KG, uh, Abel, a bunch of us, and we were just talking about like back in the day versus today. And Abel was like, "Man, this team was smoked the dream team." I'm like, "Man, you must be crazy, man. These dudes almost lost to Tulane. The Joker kid, this same team fits." I'm like, "Man, what you think Jordan would do to Anthony Edwards, Drew Holiday, Derek White, Devin Booker?" You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Man, Jordan would destroy these boys." And not only that, but the player movement and the ball movement of yesteryear, man, all these players nowadays, all they know how to do is ISO and high pick and roll, and that's it. There's no 5-man offense. If they struggled against teams that ran 5-man offense, what you would do with the dream team? I'm like, come on, man. Like, it's no comparison to me in terms of the quality of the game. Was so much better, so much better back then than it is now. And in terms of the athletic ability, I really don't see it. I mean, if you're talking about maybe we're gonna say somebody like Anthony Davis. Yeah, Anthony Davis is more athletic than maybe Karl Malone and Charles Barkley, but at the same token, realistically, you could have put somebody like a David Robinson on him from an athletic standpoint. So at the end of the day, I mean, certain players might be bigger, stronger, more athletic at their position, like maybe a LeBron. But at the same token, across the board, I don't see where the athleticism is that much better than they claim it was in the 90s. I don't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, and Big Red say handle. That's because they think they can rely on natural talent without putting in that extra work. Yeah, and that's mainly what it is, Big Red. Yeah,
And I mean, not only that, but the All Star debate. Man, these dudes don't even want play hard for the All Star game. You know, salute to 7 Days Sports TV. You know, we had a amazing conversation yesterday here on this channel on the second episode of the Black Man's Perspective.
yes, sir.
But he was talking about how like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and the OGs, was talking to LeBron and these younger cats about how they should put on a good show for the fans and they should play hard. They said LeBron sitting back, rolling his eyes in the back of his head, and these players just kind of tuning them out, went in one end out the other. Man, All Star Weekend is a joke, but it kind of goes to show you how this younger generation, man, they don't value the fans. All this load management, players sitting out games and blah 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 blah. Man, today's game is trash compared to what it was and yesteryear in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. It's a joke to me, bro.
I agree.
Yeah, but let me get off my soapbox. That's enough of my reign on that. But I know the general's supposed to have a debate show about that. Salute to the general, and definitely looking forward to that conversation.
Yeah, Jared, make sure you ain't on mute, bro.
I am on mute. Thank you for telling me. So, my bad. So, those who don't know, and this week we're gonna moving on to the women's side bracket. Um, so those who don't know, the South Carolina Gamecocks ladies, they beat Duke 54-50. So yeah, so they are waiting on TCU in Texas. They play tomorrow, and LSU and UCLA are playing. They're at halftime. Uh, LSU is down. UCLA is winning 31-25.
Come
And
on, Lady Tiger. Come on, Lady Tiger. Y'all need to be able to finish. But my Lady Jags couldn't finish. Y'all got to beat them.
and UConn, Big Reg's UConn Huskies is playing USC tomorrow. Uh, and the girl for USC, she had then she had a season-ending knee injury.
Who, Lauren Beck?
No, for USC.
Oh, you talking about Juju Watson?
Yeah, Juju Watson.
No, hey, that's the irony of the whole situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was sitting in the stands and she was talking to Jaden Daniels, and she cheesing, talking to Jaden Juju. Juju grinning from ear to ear, Jaden grinning from ear to ear. They sit next to each other talking. Man, Jaden Daniels' mama see that. She was like, oh no. She moved Juju Watson over one's feet, and she sit in between them. I'm like, man, hey, bro, Jaden Daniels' mama is a whole gangster out here, right?
Yeah.
She like, hey, ain't none of these little heifers gonna scam my baby, right? And the same game,
I saw that.
Hey, the same game Juju went out there. Juju playing good, Juju shining, and Juju tore ACL for the rest of the year. I said, dang, bro. So, some people are online saying, Jen Daniels' mama put some bad juju on Juju.
Yeah, that was Big Red just said. Yeah. Nah, I think it was just unfortunate. But yeah, Jay Mama just wasn't having it. She was like, my baby already in the league, doing it big. He need to focus.
Well, I understand, what his mama saying with the whole situation with Xavier Worthy and his sprinter scam a girlfriend, you know. I understand that, but even with that being said, she got to realize. I mean, at least in this situation, it looks like Shane Daniels getting more guidance than Travis Hunter was getting at a certain point. I guess when people start dropping all the receipts with Travis Hunter, he had to let the little scallywag he was messing with go. You know, no disrespect to her, but I mean, you can't be out here like your mother Teresa and all these dudes got you in these rap videos and saying all these different dudes saying they smash you and saying you was a exotic dancer and blah 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 blah. But I think at the end of the day, I think she trying to protect her son in his best interest. But at the same token, mom, you got to realize that this boy, this boy gonna do what he gonna do, and he got needs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you ain't gonna always be there for him, especially if you want some grandkids too. You know. So I don't know. Maybe she's gonna try to vet each chick he trying to talk to. But you know, as long as he don't go out there and make no stupid mistakes, I think at the end of the day, you gotta let him live his life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts. But ain't nothing wrong trying to protect your generational wealth, though.
Yeah, no. I'm not knocking that because I'm gonna use myself as my own personal example. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, I was married and things didn't work out between me and my ex, and I'm like, I told mom, I'm like, look, hey, I know senior, he done went on to glory, and I'm like, hey, you saw the red sign, like you saw the red flags, like, hey, why you didn't tell me? She was like, hey, baby. Like, your dad and I, we raised you to be a man. You know, you got to make your own mistakes and you got to see it for yourself. We can't see it for you. And she said, if I try to tell you, hey, you don't need to be with this woman, like, you know, that probably going to push you more to her, more so, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, she was like, you know, I knew it was going to work out for you. And she was like, it is what it is. Like, you live and you learn. So, and that was a good learning lesson for myself. So I think at the end of the day, the dynamics are different. You know, I'm just a coach. I'm an average guy. Whereas, you know, he's a multi-millionaire, and like you said, you know, he has generational wealth at his disposal, and she don't want none of these young ladies to come and take advantage of that.
Right.
So I understand that, but even with that being said, I'm sure he's gonna want a legacy of his own, and just the money can't be the legacy. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, he gonna want offspring on his own, and I'm sure at some point you're gonna want grandkids too as a mom. So you kind of gotta let him live his own life, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, I can see both sides of the coin, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, you know.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, man. But real fast, who you pulling for? I know LSU. So you think they can turn it around in the next
Yeah,
half?
I ain't gonna lie. LSU is kind of like what Southern was in football. LSU, the cardiac cats. I think LSU will come back and get the job done. So, of course, on the women's side, I want LSU. The men's side, I really don't care. As long as Cooper Flag is in the Pelicans jersey, that's the main thing I want, you know.
Of course. But JB, who you pulling for on the women's side? Who you think got the best chance of winning it all?
South Carolina.
I knew you was gonna say that. But yeah, South Carolina. But you don't think UCLA or
Possibly, but I think South Carolina is more battle tested. I seen them just like LSU down in during halftime, and then they being able to come back. So my two picks is really South Carolina, LSU, because I seen LSU down by 10, I think, in their game yesterday, and they came back. So Flo wasn't really playing that good.
You talking about Flauty?
Mm-hmm. She was like 0 for 5, 0 for 10, or something like that.
You mean Friday when she played Friday?
Yeah. So, but then they got it together and they came back and won. So,
Yeah, NC
So
State played them close.
I'm expecting LSU to come back in their game today. But if not, I got South Carolina.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I think whoever won this game between LSU and UCLA, I think they're gonna win it all. Right now, UCLA up 57 to 53.
Okay.
I need to take a good look at UCLA though.
Oh, that big girl Lauren Betts. Oh, she a problem. She like 6'7". You know what I'm saying? And then on top of
Got
that,
you.
they got like multiple. They got like 6 girls that's like over 6 feet tall, well over 6 feet tall. That was the issue Southern had with her. Like the big girl defensively, Lauren Betts. Every time Southern was trying to get to the cup, she blocking all the shots. So Southern is not a great 3-point shooting team compared to other Lady Jaguar teams of the past. So they was just relying on a jump shot when Betts was in the game, and when she left the game, then they start driving it to the goal, and they went on a 12-2 run at the end of the first half.
I'm sorry, Coach. Big Red said the UConn disrespect is crazy. Yeah, UConn got some balls, but I'm not really picking them.
Nah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck. But back to what I was saying though, and then after that, he came back in the second half, and man, hey, UCLA went on another run and ended up winning by a significant amount. But I think kind of if teams have the ability to play as good a defense as Southern did, I think they kind of exposed UCLA a little bit, But we'll see. I mean, you got to realize they're the number one team in the country, so they're the number one team in the country for a reason.
Yeah. But it's gonna be interesting, man. It's definitely gonna be interesting to see who's gonna make the Final Four. But March Madness is March Madness, but we definitely gonna see how everything pans out. All right, let's move on. All right, so we just talking about a little football, man. So first of all, you don't know UFL kicked off Friday? First game?
Yesterday.
Oh, yesterday, yeah. And it was 2 games that happened between yesterday.
The Houston Rough Riders and somebody
One
else.
game happened. I was right. One game did happen Friday and then Saturday. So Arlington beats the San Antonio Brahmas 33-9, and then the St. Louis Battlehawks beat the brakes off the Houston Roughnecks 31-6.
Man, Anthony Brown played terrible.
Yeah, former Baltimore Raven backup quarterback. Yeah, he.
Ugh. But one of them picks wasn't his fault though. It bounced off the. It was a good play by the DB, but still, he didn't play good.
No, he didn't. I want to see my boy, Davis Ricards play, man. He's one of the backups for Houston Roughnecks. Put him in number 14 when they benched
Nate.
Brown.
I think his name was Nate Henderson. I think we picked him up out of Delaware for Baltimore. So yeah, both for Baltimore Ravens old QBs, backup QBs is on the Houston Roughnecks. But if they keep playing like they playing the Houston QBs, he gonna get his chance.
Oh, you mean Nolan Henderson? Okay, Nolan Henderson. Okay.
Yeah, Nolan Henderson. I'm sorry.
Okay, but he balled. He balled. He showed some. Gave the Houston Roughnecks offense some life. But yeah, can I be honest with you, man? That it's a lot of these first games gonna be um, blowouts because everybody trying to see who they got. It's not like the
They ain't
NFL.
got their chemistry yet. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
And
going.
I know as a football perspective, the defense is going to be better because um uh the UFL don't really got a camp, you know what I'm saying, or
Yeah.
how college got spring football, so they don't really got chemistry like week 4, week 5, where you can see the offense catching up with the defense. Because I know anybody who played football or high school, college, or pro level, the defense is going to always be ahead of the offense till the offense get the chemistry. The QB got to get the chemistry with the receivers. The offensive line got to get chemistry, and the running backs got to get you know got to get in gear as well. So I'm
Yeah.
not worried about week 1.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't. I ain't gonna lie. There's a good game going on right now against the with the Birmingham Stallions and DC Defenders, 11-12. So this is the only competitive game um that's been going on lately, and then somewhat the Michigan Panthers later on to earlier today was the Michigan Panthers versus the Memphis Showboats, where Michigan Panthers beat the Showboats 26-12. It was somewhat, but Birmingham Stallions and DC Defenders got a good game going on.
I got it playing in the background actually. So yep.
Okay, okay, all right, and Aaron Rodgers still trying to find a home. Man, what y'all think, man? You think Aaron Rodgers? Honestly, to be honest with you, man, even though he's with the Jets, he shows he still can play. Just being honest, but in my opinion, he just need him being a starter. Um, trying to get starter, like franchise quarterback money, man. No, man, he just need to get that backup contract, man, and just what y'all think, man? I wouldn't say he needs to retire. That's easy to say because technically, if you look at his stats when he with the New York Jets last season, he didn't play atrocious. He didn't play bad. Coach, what you think?
Man, I'm gonna keep it a buck. You might say he's not done, but he's not what he once was. He's
Right.
seen his better days. He's clearly in the twilight of his career. And basically, with the quarterback carousel, at this point, it's basically a game of musical chairs. And whoever the last person standing, the last team without a quarterback, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the last quarterback that don't have a team, I think they just might as well match up, pair up. I think the issue is like you said, he want the kind of money that he used to be worth. He's not worth that type of cheese anymore. He wants that kind of bread. And I'm gonna be honest with you though. The Steelers are just some cheapskates, man. Damn. Bro, y'all don't want to pay nobody. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I could kind of see it from their perspective, from the standpoint of like, dang, y'all paying Justin Fields this kind of money? Y'all paying Russell Wilson this kind of money? Nah, we're not willing to pay neither one of them the kind of money y'all paying them. I agree with that because King Ray said this on like one of the last episodes of Bayou Sports Talk. He was like, in the day and age, if you want a quarterback, I don't care if it's a average run-of-the-mill type quarterback. You're gonna have to overpay to get him. And this season is like proof of that. For you to have to overpay for Justin Fields and Russell Wilson and some of these other guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they'd have been better off if they just would have signed somebody like Jameis Winston. But instead, you let the Giants get Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson. It's like, dang, bro. So at the end of the day, they're the last team without a quarterback. I think they just might as well go ahead and say, you know what, this is what we're gonna do. If we could get Aaron Rodgers at a reasonable number. I mean, Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers are going to have to come to a compromise because from what I see, they're the last team without a starting quarterback. He's the last quarterback without a team. I think they're definitely going to draft a quarterback at some point during this draft. The guy that everybody said that they should take. Now, the rumor is supposedly the Saints want him. I'm not interested in him as a Saints fan, to be truthful, but that's another story for another day. I don't think they have the draft capital to move up and get maybe like a Cam Ward or Shador Sanders. So at the end of the day, I think whatever quarterback falls to him and maybe where they are in the first round or maybe even in the second round, you get that guy and then in addition to that, you get Aaron Rodgers. And just go with it from there. Because, I mean, you're at the point now where you really don't have no leverage. You really don't have no bargaining chips either side. So I think the two of them need to come to a compromise. And that's my personal opinion.
Okay. All right. Autism Boy asked a good question. There's a random question, which is part of the show, right? Who y'all got? Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees? And I know you being a Saints fan, I know who you're gonna pick. So who's the better quarterback?
Man, that ain't even close to me. It's clearly Drew Brees. The reason being is because if you look at what Drew Brees did, even his last year in New Orleans, and I'm not gonna lie, we was hard on Drew Brees, and we was like, oh man, Drew Brees has seen his better days. He's in the twilight of his career, blah, 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 blah. That last year Drew Brees played in New Orleans is better than anything Derek Carr has done in New Orleans these last couple seasons. And if you look at Aaron Rodgers now, he's in the twilight of his career, and what he's doing in the twilight of his career, it really don't compare to what Drew Brees did in the twilight of his career. And of course, I know people say, well, hey, we comparing prime to prime. In my opinion, I always felt like, the fact that Drew Brees was in New Orleans, I felt like he always got underestimated. So at the end of the day, I think Drew Brees clearly is better than Aaron Rodgers at any point in their respective careers. And yes, LSU has been beaten. They lost to UCLA 72-65. The big girl Lauren Betsy a problem. And I'm not gonna lie, I think UCLA probably the favorite to win it all at this point. But yeah, to answer his question, I think Drew Brees better than Aaron Rodgers. That's my personal opinion. I know some people are gonna say I'm biased because I'm a Saints fan, but hey, put the stats next to each other. You know what I'm saying? And realistically, in the big moments, for the exception of one year they won the Super Bowl, I always felt like Aaron Rodgers always came up short anyway. Me personally, you know what I'm saying? I remember they had one year that people was picking them to win the Super Bowl, and they lost in the NFC Championship game, and he played like a scrub in that game. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if anything, when it came to Brees, for the exception of this one game where he kept trying to force the ball to $100 million Mike, and the Vikings was doubling him, and they were intentionally leaving what's the wide receiver name, the speed guy from the Carolina Panthers. They kept leaving him open. And it was doubling
Ted Ginn Jr.
Huh? Yeah. They intentionally left Ginn open. And for whatever reason, Brees went throwing the ball. And he kept trying to force the ball to Michael Thomas. But outside of that, maybe that one game, I don't ever really remember Brees choking, if anything, like the Rams game. He played good in that game, even when, they was all over him. And of course, you got the no call where, he clearly tackled a wide receiver who's wide open. And referee didn't even call it. Of course, a lot of Saints fans like myself, we boycotted the Super Bowl that year. I'm like, bro, that was so egregious. And my auntie was like, yeah, we think they're going to play it again. I said, baby, that was NFL. They ain't playing no game again. Hey, it's over, you know what I'm saying? And NFL didn't they didn't make it up to Saints fans, but we had too many years where, stuff like that happened. We get the Minnesota Miracle. So at the end of the day, I don't care what I say. Drew Brees was definitely better than Aaron Rodgers. No two ways about it.
I agree, man. I got Drew Brees over A-Rod as well. JB, what you think? You think Aaron Rodgers needs to go ahead and sit down somewhere, or he will be a serviceable
Before
quarterback?
before Coach gave his example about why Drew Brees is better than Aaron Rodgers, I would have picked Aaron Rodgers. But then I think people forget how good Drew Brees was with the Saints. Um, and this was a couple of years where the Saints ain't had no defense. You know what I'm saying? And people forget that Aaron Rodgers was blessed with a good Packers defense with Clay Matthews and B.J. Raji and them boys. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and I think Charles Woodson had a couple of a second stint with the
The
Packers as
Packers.
well. So
Yeah.
I would say Drew Brees is an underrated core. I would probably pick Drew Brees over Aaron Rodgers as well. And people forget how the weapons that Aaron Rodgers was with as well. Had Jordy Nelson and James Jones and Greg Jennings and all them. Yeah.
What old boy that played for the that ended up getting cut, and I was playing for the Raiders. What his name is? Adams, Devontae Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people forget about that, and I'm gonna be honest with you. There were guys that I'm not saying they would have been scrubs anywhere else, but Jimmy Graham was all world in New Orleans. He went to Seattle. He was kind of the forgotten man. You know what I'm saying? And once Drew Brees retired, look what happened to Michael Thomas. Kenny Stills, Brandon Cooks. Some of these guys had the best years of their career in New Orleans, and when they left and they went elsewhere, they didn't have the kind of success that they had when they went to New Orleans. And you brought up an excellent point, JB. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like those last few years in New Orleans, the defense finally caught up to the offense. But there were years where in New Orleans that the Saints defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. So
Yeah.
people don't realize that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Most years you're gonna either be, you're never gonna be in an ideal situation where you're gonna have the number one offense, the number one defense, and number one special teams in the whole league.
Right.
You might have like maybe one anomaly year, two anomaly years out of all the football, but either you're gonna be more of an offensive team or you're gonna be more of a defensive team, and you can see that with y'all Ravens. I mean, there was one point where the Ravens were defense dominant. Now the one has turned and it's the opposite side of the ball. So I think it's kind of only natural that either you're a better offense or a better defense. You can't be dominant in both. I mean, even if you do have like the number one offense and the number one defense, your special teams are going to be like super mediocre and extremely trash, But I mean, it's an excellent conversation. But what's your thoughts, JB, on Aaron Rodgers? Like Jared said, do you think he need to sit down, or you think he just need to go ahead to the Steelers like I see it?
I mean, he can go to the Steelers. I mean, I wouldn't mind, him. We beating up on him.
I forgot y'all Ravens fans. Of course, y'all gonna say, "Hey,
I wouldn't mind. You know what I'm saying?
Brent Fox
But in all
somewhere.
seriousness,
Brent Fox somewhere cussing. Go ahead.
Oh no, hey, he done
But-
already made it clear. He said he boycotted the season that they signed Aaron Rodgers as their starting quarterback.
they gave away their most consistent offensive weapon was Najee Harris. You know what I'm saying? So, but
I think Najee wanted that trade though. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, everybody shitting on, I'd rather have, this is going to be controversial. I'd rather have Najee than Gus Edwards. I think Najee and our offense would do exactly the same thing Gus was doing. Probably even more. Because Najee got more upside than Gus. But that's the thing of playing with Lamar Jackson. Anyway, to your question, Coach, I think Aaron Rodgers got more gas in the tank, but he can't. He don't got superstar money. If he's trying to get superstar money contract, those days is behind him. You know what I'm saying? He's more of He's more of a game manager now. He's more of a Brad Johnson now. He's more of a Trent Dilfer now. Give him an offense where you got a
Doug
good running
Flutie.
back. Doug, yeah, it's just not even Doug Flutie, because Doug Flutie at least could run around a little bit. Aaron Rodgers' wheels is pretty much gone. He can run around a little bit, but he's not as slow like Tom Brady was and is, but still, it's what made Aaron Rodgers um, one of the best quarterbacks in the league was he could run around a little bit. He could take off on you. People forget that he got some wheels on.
Yeah.
But I think his accuracy, people forget though how good, going back to the comparison between Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers. Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers, like they're very accurate quarterbacks. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I think with with Drew Brees, his defense was so bad the couple of years he had to put up points and sometimes force balls where there was point in the games where he had to score and make something happen, and he may have thrown a pick or two. So, but I think Aaron Rodgers, man, I think Aaron Rodgers is a Steelers. To be honest with you, I think they're going to make that happen. But I think he may be asking for more money than what he's worth.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and that's another excellent point you made about Drew Brees. Because I'm gonna keep it a buck. And people don't realize that, like that Super Bowl year, Rude Dog always argued me down talking about the year after the Saints won the Super Bowl. He felt like the offense was better. And I'm like, man, no, indeed. The Super Bowl year, the offense was better. I never seen a team that would score so many points that they would put pressure on our opposing offense. And I'm like, damn, bro, the way the Saints would score that year, it was like a video game. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, is this a like real life Madden game in real life? I mean, that's the kind of pressure the Saints offense when Drew Brees, when they won a Super Bowl that year, that's the kind of offense they would put on the opposing type of pressure they would put on the opposing defense. The opposing offense that you need to score every time you touch the ball. And I'm like, I've never seen that, to be real. Like it kind of
Y'all had y'all had Rex Ryan as a defensive coordinator.
no
Rex,
no no
not
no no
Rex
no no
Ryan,
no
but
no no no
the
no
other
no
brother, the other
no
brother.
Greg
What's his
Williams.
name?
Greg Williams.
No,
The
after
Rex
oh
Ryan.
after
You talking
Greg
about Rex
Williams.
Ryan?
yeah, it was Rex Ryan.
Not Rex Ryan. Not Rex Ryan, but the other one.
Oh, he got
Uh,
his twin brother. I know what you're talking about, but I
Rob
still
Ryan.
don't.
Rob
Rob
Ryan.
Ryan. There
Rob
you go.
Ryan.
Yeah. But no. I'm talking
Ooh,
about
he was trash.
well, I ain't gonna lie. They were trying to run a different defense. I don't think they really had the personnel to run it. I ain't gonna lie. He at a certain point he kind of turned it around, but he was trash for a good portion of his team with the Saints. But I that year they won a Super Bowl. I never saw an offense explosive to the point where they will put they will put pressure on opposing offense to damn near score every time they got the ball. And realistically, that whole Super Bowl run, the only two games that they really, of course, they lost to the Cowgirls, and then they set out the players the last game or whatever. But really, outside of the Dolphins game and the Patriots game, like for the most part, the Saints offense put a lot of pressure on opposing offense to score every time. And that was the first year as a football fan. I mean, even with the greatest show on turf, the Vikings team, those two teams that were like record-breaking offenses, I didn't even see them put the kind of pressure on the opposing offense to score every time you had the ball. It was like, dang, this was like ridiculous, And then of course with Greg Williams, Bonnet Gay defense, I ain't gonna lie, his blitz packages were like so awesome. Like really, it was to a point where I think he kind of that year they won the Super Bowl was like the perfect storm where you had Darren Sharper, of course, Mr. SA to women, he was making all them plays on the back end. The Saints defense really wasn't great that year. They just got a lot of takeaways with Darren Sharp on the back end, and Drew Brees in the offense just was explosive, But I can't really see Aaron Rodgers having the year like the Saints had that year that they won the Super Bowl,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, man. And this is from a Steelers fan himself. Brother Brett Fox, he said he had to pull over for this one. Aaron Rodgers simply put arm talent, locker room issues. If he signs, I boycott.
No, and Brent Fox has made it clear, but that's the thing you need to realize, brother Brent. At this point, what other options do the Steelers have except for stand pat and maybe try to draft a quarterback?
That's the only option. They're gonna
And
have
I
to
mean,
they're gonna have to trade up for a starter because I don't think they're gonna get Shador Sanders or Cam
or
Ward, but they can at least
do
get
what?
some.
Go ahead.
They can at least roll their dice on the third or fourth best quarterback in the draft.
Yeah,
well,
that's exactly what in the past shows, Big Joe, you and Coach was saying. Like, you gonna have to if bring Aaron Rodgers in as a bridge quarterback and get like Jackson Dart or Jalen Milrow
I
and
told
and groom him.
well, the new rumor is that they think the Saints might potentially draft Jackson Dart. I don't like the move, but that's the new word on the curb down here in Bayou country. I'm not a fan of that. I'm gonna keep it real. I'd rather stay with what old boy name is
Spencer
uh
Rattler.
Spencer Rattler. But I mean, the way they talking, like that's a possibility. So I don't know.
Hey yo, there's always Josh Johnson, yo. There's always Josh Johnson for Pittsburgh. I'm just like,
Or
Hey man, leave Josh alone, man.
or they got Big Ben come out of retirement.
no, but all said, he's stupid, coach. But no, but they need to get him out of them strip clubs. But anyway, but you know how to make my Baltimore Raven pick stab. But anyway, all seriousness, they need to draft up. Because I don't think if they stay where they're at now, because they had a fairly uh good season. Of course they didn't go as far as they wanted, but they at least made the playoffs. With that happening, they need to draft up. They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to draft up to get, like I said, the third or fourth, the third or fourth option, because they can't. They're not gonna get Shador or Cam
Cam
Ward.
Ward,
So
yeah.
Jackson Dart or Milrow or what's the boy from
Will
Georgia?
Howard. Then you got
No, they're not getting Carson back. I'm sorry, he transferred to Miami. Will Howard, like you said, roll the dice on them, one of them young boys, and then and have Mason Rudolph be a
be the
bridger.
bridge quarterback.
Yeah.
And start Mason Rudolph for the first
And that's the thing,
1
Coach.
or 2 years.
They already got a bridger quarterback in Mason Rudolph, so if they sign Aaron Rodgers, they gonna try to have him be the starter.
And see, the thing about it is, I think that the major thing with them is, like I was saying, what King Ray said, you got to overpay for a quarterback. To me, it seemed like they wasn't willing to overpay for the two quarterbacks that they had in the building. So I know they probably not interested in overpaying for Aaron Rodgers. So I think that's the major issue that they face. Overpay for Rodgers or draft a young guy, and like y'all say, that's probably the best bet for him, considering the stance they've taken.
Yeah. And salute to Memphis man Anthony Bolton. Salute. He said Aaron Rodgers would get Coach Tomlin fired. As a Cowboys fan, I like Coach Tomlin a lot. Yeah, that Brent Fox said the same thing on his It's Just Me show.
Yeah.
Brent Fox said I would rather go 9-8 with a Mason Rudolph and draft a quarterback next year than sign a team detonation device. Mm.
Dang. Boy, hey, Brent Fox is strong on this Aaron Rodgers things.
I see. I understand
that
why.
be. Yeah, you fellas, you just football talk. Because if I put my Baltimore Ravens hat on, I don't give a damn. I hope y'all get Aaron Rodgers and everything about the Steelers fail. But just talking football, yeah, I wouldn't to get Aaron Rodgers. I agree with Brent. Without bias, I wouldn't get Aaron Rodgers. I think he need to go sit down somewhere. If he don't want to take backup money, then because he's not a starter anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the logic in this whole scenario we talking about. If they weren't willing to overpay Justin Fields nor
No, I
Russell
disagree.
Wilson,
I
this is
am.
what I'm saying.
Go
This is what
ahead.
I'm
Go
saying.
ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
If they weren't willing to overpay Russell Wilson nor Justin Fields, they're not gonna be willing to overpay Aaron Rodgers. That was the point I was making.
No. And I spoke out of turn. I was trying to address JB. Well, everything you said, I agree with, Coach. I disagree with him not being a starter. Um, because if you look at his New York Jets stats, those are starter numbers.
But they're not franchise quarterback numbers, though, right?
Exactly. So he's a starter, but what the Pittsburgh Steelers need is a franchise quarterback. Period.
Good point. And Brent Fox, you right. As I sip my soda, I'm sure someone spit in. I'll be Silky Johnson all day, man. Yeah, man. I don't care about what the Steelers do, man. And Malik Harrison gonna get hurt talking trash.
Oh yeah, another former Baltimore Raven like Patrick Queen. Another Baltimore Raven linebacker went over to the enemy, Pittsburgh Steelers, and he's saying he gonna try to hit somebody, knock somebody out. But okay, we'll see. Didn't he make reference toward Lamar Jackson? Or he played nice for the
I
same?
guess. Man, look, they got to do what they're supposed to do. He's not Baltimore Ravens fan anymore. He's employed with the Pittsburgh Steelers now. So I understand, but just know, bro, you would. I mean, he's a thumper. Malik Harrison is a thumper. I actually like Malik Harrison. He gave us some good football, but he was getting that. Hey, man, he was getting ate up some
He
plays. So
shook out his shoes. Yeah, downhill, he'll make the tackle. Now, if he go against open field, a running back or a wide receiver that got some moves, got some wiggle stick, he gonna miss. He gonna miss the tackle every time. You can ask some of these Ravens fans and like Hendo and Big Reg,
roll pie.
Roll
Mm-hmm.
Pie. Yeah, they which is Hendo. Roll Pie is Hendo, but Big Reg and
Okay.
them. Malik Harrison he's just a good feeling, and he knows how to tackle. But as far as an overall linebacker, as far as covering and I wouldn't say he's sideline to sideline either.
He's alive. He alive, but he's a thumper. Like I said,
Yeah.
going down here. He's good. He can blitz too.
Yeah.
But he's not like open field linebacker. He's gonna whiff. Yes, he's gonna whiff.
Dang, Hendo, no mercy, no mercy. Finish him, fatality. He said hot garbage. I wouldn't say he hot
juice.
Garbage, but yeah, when we needed him, he didn't. He's not the linebacker we looking for. He's a great tackler, but as for we like them sideline to side, like Zach Orr was.
Yep.
Even though he was undersized, he's exactly that's why he fit our defense.
And Zach Orr could cover too.
Yeah.
He was a good cover linebacker too.
Somebody like C.J. Mosley or Daryl Smith. That's the linebacker. Of course, we don't all need to say
Daryl Smith, my boy.
Yeah.
Man,
Daryl
y'all
Smith, my
Ravens
boy.
fans spoiled though, man, with all these good linebackers y'all done had over the years though.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
had
man.
Peter Boulware, Bart Scott. Yeah. Yeah. Jamie Sharper. Yeah, you're right.
Jarrett Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
man. But he can't cover always out of position, tackling it out.
Yeah.
Pope. Hendo ain't giving him no love.
No.
Now he did have a good game against the Chargers, man. He made J.K. Dobbins sit his ass down somewhere. So I can't shit on him so much. And
But
y'all got rid
oh,
of.
Landon Roberts. Yeah, y'all should have kept him because
I
basically
like him too.
you put it this way, Malik Harrison is a level under Landon Roberts.
End up being petty as hell. He said one play, one game. Got
it. No mercy.
Damn.
No mercy. But to be honest with you, we us as former football players, JB, we giving him props. But as far as people like Hendo being part of the Roll Pirate, he's more honest as far as covering the Baltimore Ravens. That's what the show about. And I gotta agree. He's a type of linebacker that's okay. And we do looking at the Baltimore Ravens history of linebackers, we don't do
He don't
okay
measure up.
linebackers. Yeah, we don't
You
do
right.
yeah.
You right. You right.
We
You
don't
right.
do okay linebackers. That's not Baltimore Raven football. Like
You
we
gotta
just said.
be more than okay. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Good
y'all kind of
point,
proved my
Jared.
point.
You said we are?
Yeah, y'all are in terms of y'all spoiled with the kind of linebackers.
Spoiled.
Yeah, you're right. You notice I ain't say nothing when he said it. You're right. Roll Pie said he gets props for making the league, right? But he has no right to run his mouth. Yeah.
You right. You need to shut up. Yeah, man. Jay Barr, I know Jay Barr is an Indianapolis Colts fan. Darius Leonard was a dog. I'm sorry he had that spine injury. Coming out of South Carolina State, that was my boy, Darius Leonard.
Yeah, G High Ward ball for us. Yeah,
good rotational piece.
Yeah,
Jahai Ward, man, I remember we traded for him. Everything about that 08 2018 2019 team when Lamar won the MVP, when we couldn't get a pass rush, when the Browns week 3 when Nick Chubb went crazy on our ass. We traded for Jahai Ward, and I think we got Josh Bynes. Cause speaking of the devil, because Patrick Queen wasn't there mentally yet as far as the plays as where we wanted him as middle linebacker, and we got better. Jahai Ward was an excellent piece coming off the bench as far as a rotational defensive end.
And it was 2019 he won the MVP.
Yeah, 18-19, yeah. But yeah, man.
20, but go ahead. Okay. Do you want to? Everybody talk about it. We might as well.
John Harbaugh getting extension.
Yeah. I'm going straight to you. What's your thoughts about John Harbaugh getting a contract extension?
I agree with some of the brothers saying. I agree with. Shout out to Team Keep It Clean, M. Graven. I think we should have. I agree with him. I think we should have let him play out his contract. Yeah, that's what we do with the players. That's what we're doing with the players now. I think we should have done it with John Harbaugh. That's multiple years of us having a great team, a great roster, and not showing up in the playoffs. So I think we should have had a clause this year. If you're not showing progress in the playoffs, we're not doing an extension. Now, however, listening to Coach Sip Tally, and Coach Sip Tally was given the same um, sentiments, but he was playing both sides. He was giving a reason why we shouldn't sign him and why he was okay with it. Why we should be okay with it is because who else was going to be our coach? Who else was going to be our coach if we don't sign him? Because we can give examples like with Philly or with the Kansas City Chiefs on why moving on from a coach or the hell yeah, Kansas City Chiefs and Philly while moving on from a coach that you had success with may be a good decision. But people don't talk about how that shit can flip on you. That you can easily be some of these teams in last place if you bring in the wrong person. But
Right.
I'm not a fan of the extension. I think we should have at least bring somebody in. Um, Moved on from Brian Billick and found that's true. That's true. We moved on from Brian Billick and brought in John Harbaugh. Role, but at the same time, who else are we gonna bring in? Because we not we my fear is right. John Harbaugh is the only coach that changed everything for Lamar. I don't want to bring into the. I don't want us to bring into the coach that's gonna fuck with Lamar. Excuse my language. That's gonna say, well, I know you do it this way. I want us to do it this way. You see what I'm saying? So maybe I'm wrong, uh,
Right. I ain't
but
gonna lie. I'm gonna push back a little bit. I agree with the
I was about to push back too. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
John Harbaugh has showed being incompetent in a lot of football situations where we needed him to be on it. Um,
true.
Now I do. There's part of me that agree with what you're saying. That had that fear if we get rid of John Harbaugh. Shout out to John Harbaugh for not being scared, and he basically changed the game, helped change the game that how it's played with allowing Lamar Jackson. That's why Lamar Jackson is legendary, in my opinion.
And
Just
let him progress.
progress. A lot of other coaches would have been scared, but shout out to John Harbaugh for that. I give him props for that. But I just me sitting back watching multiple times where he made stupid calls. Whether if it's him supposed to be challenging or throwing a dumb challenge flag when he's supposed to keep the flag in his pocket, or just making just dumb play calls. You know what I mean? Um, which
Not
is
being ready.
not being ready. Exactly, we're not getting the team ready. Um,
Not doing what got you there in the playoffs.
right. What coach?
Running a pass when in the playoffs well technically last year, when the playoffs against the Bills, when Lamar threw that beautiful pass to Rashad Bateman and we was on the the uh the Buffalo Bills red zone, we decided to do a play where the tackle, Ronnie Stanley, catches a pass.
In the
Tackle eligible.
playoffs.
And you got Derrick Henry back there, and Lamar had to eat the sack. Lamar got sacked, and we had to kick a field goal.
Stuff
Shit
like
like
that,
that.
man. So I
Now,
understand you.
yeah,
Now you
I agree.
let me land. So
Right,
I understand you share the same. There's part of you that want to keep John Harbaugh. You don't want to mess anything up, but there's also
right.
part of you where you want to go ahead and get rid of John Harbaugh. But my thing is,
Yes.
but my thing is, we just had Mike McDonald go to the Seattle Seahawks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was he
Right.
under our umbrella? Right?
Yes.
They're going one.
Mm.
You can't be scared of bringing someone in. Bring one of these young coaches that understands Lamar Jackson. Do the research. Stop being lazy, and bring in one of these young coaches that understand Lamar Jackson game and has a lot of football knowledge, or somebody
So they do it with everybody else. You're
And
right.
when I mean young in the NFL, like somebody in their 30s or 40s, not young age wise necessarily, but somebody young as far as NFL experience. But somebody understand I just feel like it's a new time. Just to wrap, and forgive me if I'm rambling. It's because there's so much things I want to say. Uh, it's time to move on. I feel like John Harbaugh have benefited from Hall of Fame talent that went in and out of the Baltimore Ravens franchise, so he was able to save his job. And dang, Big Red said I can't even give John prop for that. He had no choice but to let Lamar go, let Lamar be him because he was going to lose his job. That's accurate as well. Um, he said, Hendo said, what coach says he wants to be the most run dominant team in the NFL for 6 years to not run the ball in the playoffs? Then every year he did not know how many times they ran the ball.
True. Mm.
And the
All these are
years,
good reasons why we shouldn't have extended them. Mm.
yeah, and the years without Hall of Fame talent, he went 40-40. Exactly. So I hear, to speak to your that fear part of your
Mm.
explanation,
Cause
JB.
it's
I hear
fear.
you. Yeah, it is
It's
fear, but we
fear.
can't. I mean, we can't. I feel like if we don't make a change, if we're gonna keep John Harbaugh, then we need to get rid of Eric DeCosta, somebody like but the common denominator is John Harbaugh. It's John Harbaugh, man. We need to. I don't know why we signed this dude to 3 years. And
Hey
shout out
man.
to 503 Line, Hard Hitter Sports and Entertainment. Salute family. We got a Houston Texans fan in the building. What's up, bro? Um, Lamar eliminates a lot of fears. He does. He does. He does. But we got to put Lamar in the right position, though. If not, then it's gonna be some more we've been seeing, getting so close and then falling flat on our face.
Let
So
the
look,
one,
man.
let the one
I'm gonna
nominate.
say this. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna let the one. No, no. In fact, no. You go. I'm gonna finish it off, GB. You go say what you got to say.
Man, look. I'm just gonna say this. Lamar is 28. Lamar is in his prime. But Lamar window is closing, man. He got to win a Super Bowl. And Lamar is going to get the blame because he's a quarterback. That's point blank, period. Here's my thing. Why I'm not okay with us extending him, and when I'm all right with us extending him. I'm okay with us extending him because Lamar's okay with it. If Lamar's okay with it, I'm not gonna like it, but I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay with it, right? But if John Harbaugh keeps continuing as what some of the brothers like Roll Pie, Reggie, Anthony Bolton frogging up in the playoffs. That's going to be on Lamar record,
Yeah.
not John's.
They're going to blame it on Lamar, yeah.
Look what Philly did. When Philly had their old coach and he wasn't getting it done, they got rid of him. And they went back to a Super Bowl. Hell, the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? But the Chiefs got Andy Reid. It's just time, man, for us to do something different. Either John needs to do something different, or we're not going to win a Super Bowl. Period.
And before you go, Coach, because I know you're going to have the last words on this. Hendo said Hall of Fame quarterback, and they are worried about getting a third safety instead of getting him protection. Man, experimenting on the O-line is atrocious. They went to 2 more Super Bowls. Yes, sir. They talking about Philly, or the Chiefs, excuse me. And Philly won the Super Bowl with Doug Peterson to fire him, then went back twice and won with another head coach. Yeah. And it's all reasons why we can't be scared, man. And then how we doing all this rambling about John Harbaugh, and one of the things that I want them gone is the offensive line was not addressed. Daniel Falele.
It's crazy, bro. It gives me
so Andrew Voorhees, and then you had this a chance to re-sign what's my boy name? Zeeler. I'm blanking on the name. The guard we had, he was older, but he was dominant guard. Anyway, we had a chance to bolster and reinforce our offensive line, and it seemed like Zeitler. Thank you, Kevin Zeitler. We had a chance to sign somebody like that, and we let him go, so we can roll the dice with that damn Andrew Voorhees, Ben Cleveland, and Daniel Falele, which was terrible at right tackle. So we moved him to offensive guard, and he still was atrocious at offensive guard. The reason why he had some success because he's 6'8", 340 pounds. So if you a linebacker blitzing, it's gonna take you a while to get around his big ass. That's it. But he has no skill.
He's not as aggressive for him. Yeah, he's not that aggressive for being that big. Either.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I'm gonna finish up. So coach can go.
Go ahead.
Him experiencing with the offensive line was dangerous, and that gives me reminds me of what Carolina did to Cam, where they just put average receivers and like one weapon like Greg Olsen, and then it worked. They went to the Super Bowl, but when they went to against a formidable defense like the Broncos, they got destroyed.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen to Lamar. Well, we get away with stuff because Lamar's talent, and then when we face somebody against like the Eagles or the Chiefs or even the Bills, we get exposed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I'm gonna say, man. And yeah.
And before you go, and Anthony Bolton said, truth be told, I don't know who has more depleted O-line between the Cowboys, Chiefs, or Ravens. And Jay Barr said not running the ball with Derrick Henry and passing to Mark Andrews in the red zone was a killer. Yes, and I'm gonna say this. And a lot of people are mad at Mark Andrews, and I'm sore at him. But I'm gonna say this: it shouldn't have been to the point we even threw the ball at Mark Andrews. We should have been running Derrick Henry down a damn throat 90% of the time. That's another reason why we need to get rid of John Harbaugh. Go ahead, Coach. I'm done.
Is the one non-Ravens fan on the panel this evening. First thing I want to say, I can kind of see both sides of the argument, but at the same token, you can't let fear dictate and determine the decisions you make.
Yes, sir.
And let's just be honest. I know people going to be like, man, Coach, you always play the race card. It is what it is. If John Harbaugh was black, do you think they would have kept him? Let's just be real.
No.
Hell no.
All right. Let's go to the next level. You don't think other coaches could kind of do what he's been doing, have a good regular season, great regular season, and then get to the playoffs, the AFC Championship game, whatever, and lose? A bunch of coaches could do that.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the fear, I wouldn't let fear determine what I would do, because I'm almost certain somebody like Eric Bieniemy or Leslie Frazier, they could do the exact same thing John Harbaugh is doing in the situation he's in. They probably could do an even better job. Now, imagine if, I know he went to y'all UNC Tar Heels football team, but imagine if they had somebody like Bill Belichick with Lamar Jackson in that particular scenario. Come on, man. So in that situation, there's more qualified coaches that can do the same thing that he's doing. Because let's be real, if Leslie Frazier or Eric Bieniemy was white coaches, they'll be head coaches in the NFL as we speak. But since they're black, that's why I say the Rooney Rule is a joke, and that's why I say had them two brothers been given the opportunity, you can't tell me they wouldn't be doing at least what John Harbaugh doing. And as far as I'm concerned, considering he got a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback, I think he's underachieving. Because let's be realistic. This year against the Bills, last year against the Chiefs, the play calling was questionable at best. Now, last year, you'd have benefited more if you'd have had Henry at running back. This year you had him, and you did nothing against the Bills. It's like, come on, brother. The play calling was trash for the second year in a row. So you can't keep blaming Lamar Jackson in these scenarios when you're giving him, in these scenarios, like subpar coaching. At some point, the head coach needs to take some blame and some accountability. You can't keep pointing the finger at Lamar Jackson for them not getting over the hump. As far as I'm concerned, he not to blame. I think Harbaugh is. And I think, as far as I'm concerned, to me, it kind of seems like the Ravens and the Saints in the same position from a front office and head coaching perspective. Well, at least the Saints have a new head coach, but in terms of the situation the Saints was in with Dennis Allen and Mickey Loomis, to me, it sounds like they need to get rid of both the general manager and the head coach, as far as I'm concerned.
And you're right. A lot of Ravens fans want Eric DeCosta and John Harbaugh gone. So yeah, there are some similarities there. The Roll Pod says 78 regular seasons wins over the last 7 years with no Super Bowl appearance, the most in NFL history.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, man, yeah, man, I don't agree with the 3-year sign at all. Yeah.
They should be doing exactly what they be doing to them players. Prove it contract.
And that's the thing about it. If they gave him a contract extension, they should have gave Lamar one before he got one, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And I mean, what they gonna do if he's in the exact same situation this coming season and he fall flat on his face as a head coach? Then what you gonna do? You already gave him an extension, So hey, now at that point you playing trap music. You stuck between a rock and a hard place.
All Lamar Jackson needs is one Super Bowl, and he'll be among one of the best quarterbacks that ever laced cleats. Even the haters can't
Facts.
deny it. Well, they gonna deny it, but if Lamar Jackson get a Super Bowl, man, you can't tell me shit about Lamar Jackson.
But the thing about it is, y'all don't know if he actually wins that Super Bowl. You don't know the type of domino effect it might create from the standpoint of maybe he goes on a run where he wins back to back, or maybe he goes to multiple consecutive Super Bowls the way
Exactly.
the Chiefs just did. So I think even in this scenario, I'm not saying y'all setting him short, but winning that one Super Bowl could create a domino effect to where he wins multiple Super Bowls. We don't know. And like JB said, he made an excellent point. Like, he's in his prime. I mean, let's be real. If he gets to the point where he's Aaron Rodgers, he not gonna be able to do all the running around he's doing. So they need to maximize him while he's still in his prime.
Yeah, they got they got Steve Wilkes rid of Steve Wilkes with the quickness. I'm like, damn, he ain't even took off his shoes yet, and he out of there.
Yeah, they treat us different. Like Hendo said, man.
Oh, I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
hey, look at Gerard Mayo and look at Antonio Pierce. Hey, I mean, I mean,
That Gerard Mayo was wicked.
They gave him
Wow.
that trash ass roster. If man, never mind.
and no, I mean, even the Antonio Pierce situation. I mean, sometimes I know in certain scenarios, if you got a guy that's in the interim and he turn the scenario around the rest of the season, you're like, oh, all right, he can be the guy. And then when he becomes the guy, you're like, he underachieved. But for them not to at least give him another season, for them to give him the hook already, it's like, come on, man, come on, bro, let's be real. If both of these brothers was white, we know good and damn well they'll still be the head coaches of those respective teams. That's the kind of thing that pissed me off, and that's the kind of thing that let me know the Rooney Rule is a joke. Because guess what? Because like I said, had Leslie Frazier and Eric Bieniemy both been black coaches, I guarantee they'll be head coaches in the NFL as we speak.
The Houston Texans got a very good coach in D'Amico Ryans. If they smart, they'll keep him as long as they could. They just need to continue to build around him.
They need to get an offensive lineman for DJ Stroud, number one.
CJ Stroud, yeah.
CJ Stroud, excuse me. And I agree, Anthony Bolton.
Yeah. Man, these Lamar Jackson haters, man. Yeah, they acting like they seen somebody like Lamar Jackson. You ain't never seen nobody like Lamar Jackson before. That's why y'all hating on him. But anyway, moving on from the topic, but before we move on, I should say, is there anything else?
That's it, man.
Nah, that's it for me.
All right. Well, last thing, and we gonna close it up, man. Man, salute to Brian Norman Jr. He had a TKO knockout yesterday against Derek Quavos in the third round to defend his WBO title at welterweight. Very good, man. That power is real, man. My only critique of Brian Norman Jr. is when he know he got you hurt, he leaves himself open. Where it's somebody who's a counter puncher can take advantage of that. But Brian Norman Jr. the truth, bro. At welterweight, he's definitely a contender. Well, not a contender. He's a champion.
I was going to see a champion.
He's a champion. I'm sorry. I meant to say he's definitely something to take serious in the welter division. Welterweight division. So, Coach, did you see the fight?
No, I didn't, but I heard some post fight reactions, and I'm gonna keep it real. In my personal opinion, I think he beat Stanley Onis. Uh, with the cat that got knocked out by Tank the other welterweight champion Tank moved up
Frank
to
Martin,
140. No, not Frank Martin, the other one.
The
The
Hispanic one,
Hispanic one, yeah.
Hispanic dude.
Barrios,
Uh,
Yeah, I
Barry,
think
Mario
yeah,
Barrios.
I,
Barrios.
I think he beats Mario Barrios. I think he beats Stanley Onis.
He
I
called
mean,
out Jerron Ennis and Stanley on this.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think him and Boots will be an excellent undisputed fight.
Man,
Not a unification fight. I'm talking about an undisputed fight. If you was put the like I say back in the gap, that's the thing I can't stand. Like Bob Arum did far worse than anything Don King did in the sport of boxing, as far as I'm concerned. At worst, he did the exact same thing Don King did. They took Don King uh company and his, in his and everything Don King had built, and Bob Arum is still operating around here with impunity. But and Don King hated, he'd have got the four of them on DKP, and you'd have had probably like Brian Norman Jr. against Mario Barrios, and you'd have had Boots against Stanley Owners, or vice versa. And then guess what? The two top guys would have been fighting for undisputed. That would have been a Don King 4-man tournament in the 90s. Easy. But yeah, but I mean, Brian Norman Jr., shout out to him. He did his thing. And not only that, but major shout out to 7-8 who got the interview with Champ. Glad he coming back. Looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah, you beating my next thing. Yeah, what I was gonna say. Yeah, Deontay Wilder is
coming back, man.
coming back. He's doing what I have wanted him to do before he fought Big Bang Zhang and uh, Anthony Parker. He's fighting a journeyman to get back into things. He's fighting a gentleman named Tyrell Herndon, who is 24-5 record. Uh, and that fight will be on June 27th. So the Bronze
I will be
Bomber
watching it.
is returning to the ring. I didn't catch it, Coach. Is he fighting under in Saudi with Big Turk?
Nah, I didn't get to listen to the whole interview because I started listening to it when I was on my way to church.
Right.
But from what I'm understanding, I think he's supposed to be fighting on BLK Prime because they've been saying this for months now that he was supposed to get a bum bash fight on BLK Prime. So from what I'm understanding, I think he's fighting on BLK Prime. After we get off, if I don't decide to do a live stream on my own, more than likely, I'll probably
Thank
go
you,
finish listening.
Anthony Bolton. Yeah,
I'll
you're
probably
right,
go finish.
Coach.
Yeah, BLK Prime. They've been talking about this for months, but initially, from what I was understanding, he was supposed to fight on BLK Prime at the end of April, like mid-May. So I guess it's back to, late June.
Yes, sir. And
Because
Big Joe
because
Bomb Squad.
because I know
You
y'all
damn right.
I know y'all wasn't able to make it to the last family reunion due to unfortunate circumstances. But when you saw him when I took the picture with him, and when brothers like uh like like the different brothers in the group, taking pictures with him and interviewing him or whatever. He had the thing on his arm, so he had a arm injury at that point too. So I guess it took a little while to let that thing heal up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's had a history of knowing to have broke that right hand many a times, and then also he mentioned about shoulder injury. So he was getting himself right this whole time. So and then did it let you know how humble the champ is, man? People try in the media try to try to that's what the white or westernized media always try to do. It would be the most. It could be humble boy from the Midwest or the West Coast or even from a country boy from the South, and try to make, no matter where they from, and to try to make them out to be this narcissistic person, because that's what they think of us. So whatever, it doesn't matter what type of character you have. You could have good character. If it's not the one that they want or they think a black man should be, they're gonna try to paint you as what the stereotypes are. And that's what Deontay Wilder has been trying to uh, battle. And he's a good guy, man. Despite
Man, hey,
what
I
you
don't care.
heard, he's a good brother.
I don't care what nobody say. I'm telling you, I met this man live and in living color, and I always talk about when we met at the 2022 family reunion, and we met Bill Haney. Bill Haney is like one of the nicest people ever in life, and Champ was the exact same way. I mean, for this man from Willie Lowe to bring him from Alabama to Atlanta, and man, he took pictures with everybody. He had conversations with us. Trill Will interviewed him. Man, hey, bro, this man is one of the nicest people I met in life, and all that negativity is unwarranted. Like 7 Days says all the time, America needs a black villain at all times. They're trying to make him a villain, but in all actuality, he's a victor. He's more than an overcomer. Man, this man is one of the nicest people I met in life. So I don't care what nobody say. Ain't nothing you can tell me negative about Champ, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, man, facts. But JB, what did you think about his comeback?
Well,
Deontay
first I
Wilder.
want to say congrats to Brian Norman Jr., man, young buck, man. Excuse me, the champ. Hey, man. And I remember the interview that Brian Norman's father had on the 78 show. I love to see a good father and son duo. Shout out to Devin Haney and his pops as well. But as far as Deontay Wilder, man, Deontay Wilder's always gonna be my American champ. Uh, when the Klitschko's and when boxing was born, and we didn't have a champ, he stood up. Just a Alabama boy, country boy from Alabama. He got into boxing to help his daughter that has illness, and then made history. Has the most title defenses. He's up there with Ali with 10. So I'm win, lose or draw. He's always gonna be my champ. So I don't care if the rest of his fight is bum bash. He deserves a bum bash. He's been chasing the smoke for years. He get in there with monsters. He fought Luis Ortiz when everybody was scared of Luis to fight Luis Ortiz. He fought uh, Tyson Fury when Anthony Joshua didn't want to fight. But Anthony Joshua was on YouTube. It's still up. Said he wasn't gonna fight Deontay Wilder. Him and Eddie Hearn. He got Tyson Fury off his couch, and with his 300-pound self, and got him into three historic fights together. So I ain't got nothing bad to say. We'll never have nothing bad to say about Deontay Wilder. People who don't understand will never understand, and are fan and bandwagon jumpers. You know what I'm saying? When I like somebody, I'm with them, win or lose. That's exactly why, Jared. I'm a Detroit Pistons fan. It's been bad for years, for a whole bunch of years. And this year, I can say we actually got a great team. Not going into that to the NBA realm, but this is an example of I'm a type of person where I'm not a bandwagon dude. When I like you and when I'm with you, you're my homeboy. You're my homeboy. So, shout out to the champ, Deontay Wilder.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Coach, any lasting thoughts? Any
Yeah,
last remarks?
like I said, I echo JB sentiments also. I think that's the thing about the LDVC. We believe in loyalty and we ride with our people. So ain't nothing nobody can tell me negatively about this man because I done met him live and in living color and one of the nicest people I done met in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And also, one last topic regarding the boxing conversation before we wrap it up. Um, Canelo versus Terrence Crawford. Y'all believe that Terrence Crawford actually got a chance to beat Canelo? Did you think Crawford has bitten more off than he could chew? What you think? Starting with Coach.
Honestly, I'm kind of split on this. I'm kind of torn. First and foremost, there's weight classes for a reason. But unlike Charlo, Mel Charlo, I don't believe Canelo. I mean, I don't believe Bud is the type of guy that sell his O for a bag and take a fight that he don't believe he could win. So everything we've seen from Bud, this dude, even though outside the ring, he like the sister Shaw was saying yesterday, he a grimy dude, and some of his antics outside the ring are a little bit questionable. But in terms of his pedigree in the ring and everything he's capable of doing, I'm not gonna lie, we see Canelo is a duck. He don't want no smoke with David Benavidez. And just like when he fought Dimitri Bivol, I think this is gonna be a cherry pick gone wrong. I honestly, legitimately believe that Terrence Crawford can beat him. I think him and Bo Mack in the team, I think they see something that they can exploit against Canelo for them to take this fight. And the thing that kind of sealed it, that I think Bud legitimately could beat Canelo is the mindset he has. When Kenny Porter, uh, uh, Kenny Porter, what his name is, Porter dad,
Sean Porter.
Sean Porter dad, when he was saying that, when he was coaching Bud back in the Gap, and sometimes when the young fighters get out of line, he'd be like, "Hey, I'm gonna whoop you, hey, come meet me this, that, and the third." And he said he looked outside and Bud was out there waiting. He was like, "Man, this dude cut from a different cloth." You know what I'm saying? So that mindset, and not only that, but them telling his backstory about how, he just was a dog as a fighter, and his mom would pay guys $5-10 from his neighborhood if they could beat him. And couldn't nobody beat him. And no matter who they threw his way, his whole career, he didn't overcome every obstacle, and he was able to overcome every hurdle. And truthfully speaking, I don't see Canelo winning this fight. I think it's a cherry pick on wrong, just like Dimitri Bivol. So not only do I think Bud could beat him, I think he will beat him.
Okay. JB, what you think?
So did they say that if they're gonna make the fight or not? Well, that's my question.
Yeah, because at one point, he had signed already or whatever, and then he was supposed to be backtracking out of the fight, and he was supposed to fight what the white boy name is
William Skull.
no, not him. No, he gonna fight Skull in May, but the two of them supposed to fight in September. September for like Cinco de Mayo or whatever.
Okay.
Not Cinco de Mayo, but the other Mexican holiday or whatever. But he was gonna fight the Paul brother, and he was supposed to get big money for that fight. And Turk Canelo talked his way into another bag, so Turkey gave him like a 4-fight deal or whatever, and he get another bag just like he got a bag from HBO, and bag from Showtime, and a bag from the Zone, and a bag from PBC. He don't want to talk his way into another bag. So yeah, he gonna fight William Skull in May supposedly, and he gonna fight Bud in September.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for answering that for me. 'Cause I ain't want to pick who gonna win and it ain't fight. Thank you for y'all brother keeping me up on game. But yeah, man, I think Canelo struggled with boxers. Boxers that he can't bully, boxers that are not uh, impressed or intimidated by his power, like a Bivol. You know what I'm saying? Like a Austin Trap. Um, but like a Golovkin, you know. But I think Terrence is too. If now this is if Terrence could take his power. I don't know. Cause let's keep it real. I Canelo can punch. Canelo got power. Now I got questions how he got that power, but that's not the point.
Right.
But he can punch or whatever. I don't know if they say that Terrence, spars with Bivol and he sparred with Better Beef before, and Better Beef said he's the real deal. So based off that, I'm going based off what Better Beef said, okay? And other, light heavyweights. I already knew Terrence Crawford was strong. He got a strong core. He come from that wrestling background. So I'm just worried about how his chin is going to hold up though with Canelo Alvarez. But as far as skill, I got Terrence Crawford all day. Terrence Crawford should win that fight. If Canelo Alvarez can't hurt Terrence Crawford, then it's not going to be close.
Mm. So you got Crawford.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey,
Go ahead.
one other thing I want to add too. People always talk about the Mayweather fight with Canelo. This was years ago, but people don't realize it wasn't like Floyd ran that fight. Floyd stood right in front of Canelo, and Canelo really couldn't hit him, nor land a clean shot. So at the end of the day, if Floyd was able to do that, I think Bud is more than capable of doing the exact same thing.
I hope so, man. But I'm just gonna say this: this is not the same Canelo that Floyd fought. This is more. I'm just gonna say it. This is more juiced up Canelo. People who know. Shout out to Drew Titan.
Oh no. I mean he clearly eating a lot of that Mexican beef. It's no two ways about that. But at the same token, if he's still the same flat-footed guy, that's why, like you said, somebody like a Bivol, Dimitri Bivol was able to beat him because he was able to outbox him. And even though he has more power and he's more experienced than he was when he fought Floyd, to me, I still think Crawford could stand if he could implement the same strategy that Floyd used him years ago. Because like I said, it's not like Floyd ran. Floyd stood right in front of him, and he couldn't hit Floyd. Floyd constantly beat him to the punch, counter-punched him. He didn't even land like clean. People, we talk about his power. He does have power, but he didn't even land a clean shot on Floyd the whole fight. So at the end of the day, I think Bud is more than capable of doing the exact same thing.
I agree with both of you. Of course, I do have concerns about the jump up in weight classes, but I think that just the type of caliber Terrence Crawford, type of caliber person Terrence Crawford is, his mindset, it could play into Crawford's favor. So definitely can't wait to see it until September for that September fight. Hopefully things stay in order where both fighters can make it to the fight in September. Cause you know how things go. But wrapping it up, man. Good show, man. Thank y'all for hopping on. Appreciate everybody who came in and showed us support. Coach, let everybody know where they can meet you and see you.
You can catch me at Coach 67 Sports TV on all social media platforms. However, I'm primarily here on YouTube, Coach 67 Sports TV. I'm not probably gonna go live today, but got a video coming up tomorrow. And in addition to that, I had a big collaboration that I collaborate with somebody that I've been collaborating with in terms of SWAC and Southern University Talk. I'm gonna do this collaboration on Wednesday. So y'all come over to my channel, check me out. Y'all have a blessed, phenomenal evening. I'll catch y'all on the rebound. Peace and blessings.
All right, JB. Any lasting words to close everything out?
And y'all be blessed, man. Y'all have a good rest of your Sunday. Y'all have a good work week, man. And y'all just enjoy this year. Like my brother said at the beginning of the show when we were saying rest in peace to Big George Foreman and Steve McNair, Frank McNair. Y'all
Both
make
of them.
sure y'all cherish. Yeah, man, both of them. Y'all make sure and rest in peace, Angie Stone. Y'all cherish the people that we got near us, man, and make sure y'all spend more time with your peeps and y'all be blessed.
Yes, sir. So this was another installment of the Southern Baller Show. Y'all have a blessed day.